Welcome everybody. In today's video, we're going to be talking small multi-tools. Are they good? Are they bad? Are they worth it? Are they not? What ones do I have? Which ones do I think are better than others out of the ones that I have? So let's get into it. I'm going to start right off by saying that anything Leatherman juice sized or SOG power pint or power liter size is off the charts, because that's really kind of like got a full size plier head. And while this is kind of close in size to some of these tools, I feel like this is starting to hit into more of the full size multi-tool, not really the fifth pocket type. Can be fifth pocket, but we're talking keychain or fifth pocket in this video. Next thing I'm going to get out of the way is that is a little phone booth from Hobby Lobby that I'm using as a impromptu TARDIS, because I'm a fan of Doctor Who. So getting that out of the way, that is a tiny little phone booth key bracelet decoration from Hobby Lobby. Just kind of going to be my little TARDIS for now. So with that said, let's get into the tools and see what all we've got. Which ones do I think are good? Which ones do I think are not as good? I don't really think any of these are bad. Let's get that out of the way right now. None of these are bad, but there are some that I like better than others. And we're going to start off with the plier-based multi-tools here. We're going to be starting off with these two guys. We'll set these dudes over here for a moment. Hope the glare doesn't get too bad for the camera. So this is the Gerber dime and the Olight Otical P1. I say Otical. People seem to be having a hard time pronouncing that word, and I think Oracle. Oracle, Otical. That's what I think. Some people say Otacle. It's all over the place. I think Otical. Short, simple, sweet. So, starting off, we're going to kind of do a little comparison here. This is going to be a longer video, so get your coffee, get your cereal, sit down, strap in, and get comfy. Plier to plier, they're both spring-loaded pliers. I feel like the Gerber dime spring is a little bit stronger. I would say when it comes to plier heads, that Olight takes second place, because Gerber dime actually has, I think they've got Olight on this one. For one, the wire cutters on the Gerber are just a shy bit longer than the ones on the Olight. The round part of the normal part of the pliers is about the same. Olight's might be a shy bit bigger. Olight definitely has a little bit longer needle nosiness here, but Gerber has this very aggressive alligator jaw tip on their pliers here that look really good for going in, grabbing something, and pulling it out. Not as much here on the Olight version. So, Gerber dime, I'd say, takes the cake on that. Gerber dime has no inside multi-tool components. Everything else is on the outside. Same thing here with the Olight. The pliers takes up all of the inside. Everything else is on the outside, which is really, really nice for a small multi-tool. You don't have to go fidgeting it open to get something. It's here, it's there, it's ready to go. So we're going to start off with the flathead and 2D Phillips. Pop these out. Very comparable. Oh, and again, I feel like Gerber takes the cake a little bit here. It's nice that the Olight's ones are a little bit longer and can reach in deeper places. That is very nice to see. But Gerber has that wider flathead that will just do a little bit more, I think, than what you would expect. Gerber does have a little file right there on both sides, which is basically useless being that short, but the file is just there. I'm not going to say it's good or bad. It's there. It is aggressive. I'll give it that. Now, what the Olight multi-tool does have is also a keychain hole and a SIM card pusher right here. See if we can get that to show up on camera here. We have the pop-out key ring. You can fold that in to not have anything sticking out, which is very nice. And then you've got a SIM card poker, which is really cool. Fits into that same slot here. Clicks down nice and easy. The key ring does not click, but that all just folds right in there. Nice and neat. Gerber does not have that, which is not anything bad against Gerber. But the Gerber has its keyring permanently on the outside, and while the split ring looks a little thin and flimsy, it's actually surprisingly strong. I'll give it that. The Gerber has an outboard cap lifter slash carry loop. You could use that to run a loop through and carry your multi-tool. Nope. Yep. The Olight has a flip out can opener and cap lifter combo tool, which is really nice, but you got to open it up to get to it, whereas this bottle opener is out and ready to go. Kind of depends. Are you opening up bottles all the time, or do you need something else? I'm going to be using this more as a push and pull kind of hook kind of deal. I'm not opening cans and bottles a lot. So I kind of wish that this was just a file like we're going to see on this tool here in a moment. The main blade, let's see if we can find that. That is here. Olight's main blade is considerably longer than the Gerber, sharpened edge to sharpened edge. Both are sheep's foots. I almost said sheep's feet. I don't think that's right. But both are sharp, both are good, and everything on here is non-locking. So this is all UK friendly, so to speak. I don't see why you would have any trouble legally carrying these. Now, if the cop's having a bad day, he may still take your multi-tool or something, but legally should not have any issues with either of these multi-tools. As you saw, we have the main can opener here, and on the comparison of that on this tool, we're going to have this little chisel ground parcel package ripper. Very nice little tool. Could also be a larger flathead. Very nice. Very sharp. Good at ripping open packages. Great little thing to have. Both tools have flip out scissors. Now here's where Olight takes the cake. Their scissors pop out, flip around. A little bit stubbier perhaps, but these actually cut. These do not really cut. These cut cardboard and paper. That's about it. You try to cut paracord or anything, and these just do not cut. This will cut paracord, paper, cardboard, whole bunch of stuff. Great for trimming your nails. Gotta give it that. This will kind of trim your nails because it's harder, but this is not a really good pair of scissors. And as someone who prefers to have a good functional pair of scissors in their multi-tools, I'm a little disappointed on that. But everything else on this is so good. I really think this is a great multi-tool to have, despite the scissors. But Olight takes the cake with the better scissors. And they're just fun and fidgety. So, that is these two tools. The rest is not really going to be a comparison, but I wanted to compare these two because these are very similar. There might be different reasons why you'd want to get them. And they're about the same weight. Gerber's a little bit lighter, I think, and maybe a little bit more friendly on the fifth pocket. But this is still very much a keychain fifth pocket kind of multi-tool. So both are also about the same price, coming in just under $20. Excuse me. Very competitively priced towards each other. Kind of depends on which one you want to get. Now we're going to bring up the Nextool Mini Sailor. Now they do have a plier version of this, but I didn't get that because I have this at the moment. This is the scissor version, and this is fantastic scissors. If you want backup scissors and you want them a little bit bigger, this is the one to get. Now that is as far as it will open, but these are fantastic scissors. I've cut some heavy stuff with that. These have held up really well. I recommend getting anything from Nextool in the terms of small multi-tools. They even got like one where it's like a plier and scissor combo. That's a 3-handle in version. It looks really cool. I'm planning on getting one day. But one multi-tool at a time here, as budget allows. I love the scissors on this. Now the one thing that they do differently here is we have a tiny pair of pliers. Kind of janky, but it's something, I guess. And we have a file, very nice file, good file, no edge file, but it's a double-sided file, great for taking down your nails. Also a bit of a flathead driver here, really, really, really nice. Same blade as the Otical. The Phillips driver is pretty much the same, but the flathead now has a little bit more curve to it and has a cap lifter as well. So, because we lost the cap lifter tool from the Olight, we now have this little doodad. And I think this is a functional, completely fine flathead. We also have, very much like the Olight, the extra split ring loop here and SIM card pusher or pimple popper, whatever you're into. Let's just whip out. Problem with working with fold out knives with nail nicks all the time is you do kind of run down your fingernails a bit. So give that a little trim, and we're back in business. Great tool. And like I said, they have a plier version like this, which is basically this tool here. But this one's branded by Olight and has the Olight aluminum scales. This is going to have the Nextool scales that are like this, but it's going to have the Olight pliers. It's just kind of what do you want to have as your main multi-tool here, pliers or scissors, which way do you want to go? Now, if you can find them, I do kind of recommend the Leatherman Style CS or PS. I haven't had a chance to hold the PS yet. I'll admit to that. I haven't been able to get my hands on one of those that was reasonably priced. They've all been over 70 bucks. I ain't paying 70 bucks for a tiny little tool like this. But scissor ones, really good. I love this. Oh, I forgot to mention that we do have tweezers in the Gerber dime. And I think these are better than Victorinox tweezers. They're stiffer, a little bit thicker, they handle better. I think they're just really, really good. Because I bring it up because I was looking at the tweezers here. Very similar, but very flimsy. Much flimsier than the Gerber scissors. At least mine are. I don't know if your Style CS ones are better or not. The main blade here is a chisel ground, flat ground blade here, because you can kind of see that the blade is ground down here and then ground down and chisel. It's a funky grind here, but it stays sharp, easy to sharpen. Great little knife to have. We have a flip out nail file. Very good nail file. One of the better nail files on a small multi-tool, but it's not a good work file because the nail file is recessed into the stock of the frame here, and you cannot file anything flush because this file is not going to touch it. We have a small flathead driver slash two-dimensional Phillips driver here. It works. It's fine. We have a cap lifter carabiner clip. Now, if you look at your tools, you're probably not going to see this little black bit here because this is actually a 3D printed part that you can buy on eBay that will allow you to turn this into a bit driver for the Leatherman flat bits and bit extenders that are, as you can see the hole right there. You can stick the blades of the bits down in there and you've got a little bit more torque to work with, and it's been a fantastic little thing to have. If you're going to get the Style CS or the Style PS, I'd almost recommend getting one of those. That little piece right there runs about 13 bucks, but it's good quality and hasn't broken on me yet. Now we're leaving plier and scissor based multi-tools here. Now we're going into Swiss Army knives. Like, these are just Swiss Army knives. Now I only have three. One is this with one modification. We're not going to bring it up because it's my lucky one. I like to keep it packed away nice and snugly. But this is the Victorinox Rambler. This is a fantastic upgrade from the Classic SD. Classic SD has everything here except the Phillips driver. And I think having this just makes things a lot better. It's a little bit pricier, granted, but the extra utility that you get from having this dedicated three-dimensional Phillips driver, wire stripper, and cap lifter. And since we're here, show you the wire stripper does work quite well on small wires. any wire that'll fit inside of that, it will strip. It's also kind of be used as a wire bender, which is really nice. But yeah, just having that little bit extra is fantastic. I think if you're looking at the classic SD, go up a notch and get the Rambler. It's pricier, yes. Maybe too pricey for some people, but I think it's worth it. I've carried this a bit and it has been fantastic. So, we got the main blade, stays sharp for quite a while, easy to sharpen, good nail file, but again, like the Leatherman, it is recessed into the frame here, and not good for like filing down wood or something so much, because you're not going to be able to make a groove, but it is a fantastic nail file. I love it. With a flathead 2D Phillips driver there at the tip, wonderful tool to have. Best scissors on a small multi-tool. These are small scissors, granted, but these things are phenomenal. Victorinox is renowned for the quality of their scissors. I haven't had bad scissors yet. I had one that was a little sticky on a bigger knife, but the scissors cut through everything. Victorinox is just the best. Now, I haven't had a chance to test the multi-tools that I've seen over on Max Level EDC's channel, Dominic's channel, Max Level EDC. The Byberry tools and the Leatherman Wave clones and stuff look like they have really, really, really good scissors, but we're getting into full-size multi-tools again, so we'll get out of that for this video. But Victorinox Rambler, wonderful 5th pocket keychain multi-tool. And then here is the Swiss Champ. I didn't bring up the tweezers and the toothpick. I feel like most of you kind of understand that by now. If you're halfway into EDC at all, you've seen those at least on somebody's carry, or if not your own. Classic, the Swiss Champ here, Mini Champ, has the same Phillips driver. It's getting a little stiffer because I've carried this in my pocket a lot and I've gotten pocket gunk in there. Need to clean it out. Main blade, stayed sharp. I've carried this for almost 2 years now. This thing is phenomenal. Great scissors. You just cannot go wrong with this little tool. This is the Alox aluminum scale version. Great piece to get. We have a nail file again, but instead of the flathead, we have the nail cleaner tip to it. Up next, we have a smaller secondary blade, very, very sharp. Great for lockpicks too, just so you know. Then we have a small package ripper, which works, but I feel like that the chisel grind here on the tip is too steep. Like you're looking at it here, it's coming in at about like that. I wish they'd have laid it back just a little bit more. It would glide a little bit better. But, you know, that's me. And then supposedly this was for, originally, when you get a bottle of pills and you got that white fluffy stuff at the top, you just stab and pull that out with this. That's what this is originally made for, was a pharmacist's tool. Fun little tidbit for you there. Up next, we have just the flathead Phillips driver here and a small ruler on the side here. Don't know if that will show up on camera, but it is there. There you go. Kind of see it. Just a good little pusher tool of sorts. And then we have what's called a cuticle pusher, but really I just use it as a spare fingernail. You got something that you want to pop out, but you don't want to break your thumbnail, you whip this little guy out, because he's got this slight little curve to him. I don't know. I'd also almost consider sharpening this into a bit of a chisel, perhaps. Might be something to do down the road. But basically just a pry bar of sorts to me. So, I'm going to rank these in tools that I think are... I'm not going to rank them in my favorites. I'm going to rank them usefulness. If you're looking for a tool that does a lot and is very handy, I'm going to say right off the bat, the Otical P1 or the plier version of the Nextool Mini Sailor. They're the same tool, just 2 different brands slapped on the side. Same space, basically, but next down is the scissor version, because you may just want a bigger, dedicated pair of scissors. And comparing them to, while we're on it, let's whip out standard Victorinox scissors here. These are a little bit longer, a little bit deeper reaching than Victorinox. So you do get just that little bit extra. But both of these tools are highly functional, highly handy, great bits to have. Next down, I'd say the Gerber dime. Just for the pliers and the other tools that it does have, even though it does have kind of janky scissors. I think just having a pocket pair of pliers, and not so much pliers to take lug nuts off a car or brass fittings on your plumbing, but something that's stronger than your fingers, narrower than your fingers, gets in there and does things that your fingers cannot do without going to a full-size tool. These just go in and just do stuff. That's kind of my qualification for these pliers and scissors. It's something that something that does what your fingers can do, but better, but not quite to tool yet, if you get what I mean. This is going down at the bottom because there's really only 3 tools on it, and it doesn't really do great at any of them except the scissors. I think when it comes to usefulness, we are looking at an order like this. And there's many more Victorinox 58mm knives. There's going to be one that'll be right up your alley or close to it. So look around on Victorinox's website for small multi-tools, because they have a lot and they have good ones. But I think in terms of best or most useful to least useful out of my current collection, not out of multi-tools, all multi-tools out there, just what I have and have used, this is level of usefulness. I might even be audacious enough to do that, but I think we'll just go like this, because I prioritize large knife, large scissors first, and a good accompaniment of extra tools. This has good scissors, but it doesn't have a lot of good extra tools. So there's that. Now the Leatherman Squirt PS4 looks like a good one. Looks like a very comparable tool to this, but it no longer exists. So rip the little tool, and I'm gonna miss it. I kind of wanted to get one, but never did get around to getting one while they were still being made. So if you're looking for usefulness, I recommend initially the Olight Otical P1, if that will show up on camera. Otical P1. This is made by Olight, the people that also make these flashlights here. Great flashlights. This is the Olight S2R Baton 2. Been carrying this almost daily for 2 years. Great flashlight. I love it. Next one down. I'm going through the names and stuff again, because some of you may have tuned in later through the video or skipped and stuff. So this is more for you people here. This is the Nextool, Nextool. This is the Mini Sailor, I believe. I think they have a Mini Captain or something like that, and that is the plier version of this tool. This is a scissor base tool. Great little tool to have. This is the Gerber dime. This is an old classic, tried and true. I am surprised at how good this thing is. I always thought it was a bit of a joke. This thing is surprisingly good for what it is. So take a look at it, perhaps. Gerber dime. Probably the most expensive one out of all of these is the Alox Mini Champ. And this has been a beater knife throughout the years. This thing is going to be around quite a while unless I lose it, which I don't think I will, considering how I carry my stuff. Victorinox Rambler, just kind of a generic Victorinox. It's Victorinox, like it's a Swiss Army knife. Like how you can't go wrong with a basic red-handled Swiss Army knife. Just great to have. And then the Leatherman Style CS. See if we can get that to show up on camera. Maybe. There you go. Yes, no, maybe so. So that is the tools that I have ranked best or most useful to least useful. Now, if I was to arrange them in my favorites, that'd be a whole different combination. But most useful, as I think of it, that is the order. And if you're going to have a collection of multi-tools, if you went and did that, had those tools there, I think you've got a good selection of tools to do. I got this more just to see what this tool was like. I hardly ever carry it. So we're putting him off to the side over here. He gets honorary spot over there in the shiny corner of the table. And this one runs about $20, give or take a little bit. About $20, give or take. About $20, give or take. This one comes in at about $54 to $64, depending on what deals you get. You might get a good deal on it on Amazon, Black Friday shopping. You know, you've probably got something somewhere. And then this one runs you about $50, give or take, which is pricey, I know, compared to the 20-something that the standard SD is. You're paying a lot extra for that extra tool there, but I feel like it's worth it. It's been handy to have. It has come in handy a lot lately to have this little guy here. So, with that said, I hope you found this video useful, informational. Hope it helps you build your EDC to your standards. And a little after video note here before I say the farewell. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, share these videos, share my channel a bit, please. It'll help me out a lot. It'll start bringing in more revenue so I can buy better stuff to review on this channel. So please, you know, like, subscribe, share if you care to do that. If not, that's fine. No hard feelings there. Like, it's your life. I'm not controlling your computer. Like, subscribe if you want. If not, all's well. Thank you and farewell.